Can you see it? That's what I'm asking. Important question. Will AI kill art sales? Will artificial intelligence impact art sales? Do you, as an artist or a photographer, need to be worried about what AI is going to do to your art business? Totally a legitimate question. Um, totally a fair question. And it's been coming up a bunch this like last, I don't know, call it 2 weeks or whatever. And so I thought, you know what? It's probably a good idea to just come out, get in front of this, and talk a little bit about whether or not I think AI is going to kill the art business, about whether or not AI is going to be a real burden, a real problem for folks that are trying to grow their art and photography businesses, and give you kind of some insights on that. And guess what? It's good news. You want to know why it's good news? Because no, AI is not going to kill art and photography businesses, and no, AI is not going to kill art and photography sales. Okay. And there's a primary reason for that. And the primary reason for it is that it's not how art and photography sell. It's just not. Okay. Art and photography sales are 50% the art and 50% the artist. Okay. People don't dispassionately buy art all that often. Does it happen occasionally? Yeah, it happens, but it is the minority of times, probably less than 10%, I would say, less than 5%, my guess is. And knowing that right off the top should put all of you guys at ease. Like it's just not going to happen, you guys. When I first got started in this business and in my career, there were these art duplication studios that were popping up in China. Okay, and they would essentially train a bunch of artists that could paint replicas. Okay, and they would create one original, somebody would, and then all of these copycats would copy all of the art, right? And so, like 30 or 40 people doing it, all on a line, assembly line style, and then 30 to 40 original looking pieces would hit the US and they would try to sell them. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. This stuff is going to start selling like hotcakes. It doesn't cost anything to make. There's no compensation for the artist. And you know what? It was utterly, totally, and complete nonsense. It was nonsense back then, and it's nonsense now. Because again, you guys, okay, art sales are 50% art, 50% the artist, who you are. People are buying into who you are and what your brand is. Okay. It's very, very important to understand that fact. That's number one. Number two, it's really, really hard to make great images right now with AI. The ones that can do it have spent hours and hours and hours and reps and reps and reps and sets and sets and sets. Okay. Will AI images start selling? Okay. And probably start selling pretty well here pretty soon. Yeah, they're going to. But guess what? Those are just the sales that no one is making right now anyway, right? Like, how many of you guys that are watching this on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram has your art inside Bed Bath & Beyond? Does Bed Bath & Beyond even have stores anymore? I can't remember. Has your art inside Walmart? Has your art inside Hobby Lobby? Has your art inside Target? Has your art inside any of the big box stores in the United States? And genuine question, I would love for you guys to tell me, oh yeah, no, Patrick, I do. I have my art in those places. Let me show you. The reality is that there's not a single solitary one of you that does, because it's a very, very, very small number of artists that do. Okay. And do you know who's going to get affected? Sadly, it's going to be those folks. Okay. It's going to be those folks. But by and large, like the run of the mill, normal, everyday milk and potatoes, bread and butter art sales, AI is not going to kill it. There is room for AI too. Like, it's no different than NFTs, which all of you hate very, very dearly. Okay. Because all you do is you get messages all day. Hey, I would love to buy your art as an NFT. Right. And it's utterly, totally, completely a scam. The NFT market when it was pumping, did not hurt the traditional art sales market. It was accretive. It was in addition to, not in lieu of. It was not stealing buyers from traditional art. It was creating new ones. And I think a bunch of this AI art will do the same. But really, the macro picture is like, you can use AI. There's a number of different ways that artists can leverage AI already to make you better. Okay. It helps as a creative sandbox. It certainly helps writing your product descriptions. Okay. It certainly helps with website copy. There's a number of things that you can do with it, but understand, as long as you have a bond with your audience, it's not going to hurt you. It really just isn't. And one of the funny things is that somebody sent me on my team this morning, and I'm gonna screen share with it, right? Like, and I get this question a ton, right? And allow me like a short pivot so that I can explain this, this to you guys. But I got to read deep on this one. I do not like marketplaces. Okay. I think the marketplaces are all one big scam, right? And the reason I think the marketplaces are all one big scam is because I've talked to thousands of artists and I never hear a single solitary artist or photographer that's doing well in the marketplaces. They're just not, right? And it's not that I'm against any of the marketplaces. Okay. If there was a marketplace out there where you could upload your work and make a decent living, I would automatically move all art storefronts customers to it immediately, because all I care about is that my customers are successful. That's it. And I've never met a revenue source I don't like. But the problem rather, is with the premise. The problem is with the premise. And the premise is that there exists a website where you can just upload all your stuff and you don't have to do anything else, and you're going to have a successful business. I don't have a problem with Saatchi Art. I don't have a problem with Etsy. I don't have a problem with Redbubble. I don't have a problem with Fine Art America. I have a problem with the premise. Okay. And this is what most artists fall for, right? Because I see the comments all the time. It's like, yeah, I've been on Redbubble and I've only had one sale in 2 years. Well, of course, because you haven't done any work. You haven't done anything to promote yourself, right? And the funny thing that I saw today, okay, that sort of blew my mind is, this is why too, you guys, marketplaces don't work, right? And so one of my team shared this with me today. So here's Fine Art America, right? Print on demand AI art. Get started, right? And so it allows you to enter a text prompt, right? Running river through a forest. I haven't even tested it out. Let's see if it generates. And so just like all the rest of the AIs that exist right now, Print on Demand has come up with their own, okay? And it's now letting me generate these images on the fly, okay? And there's the one that I like. It's now preparing products for me, right? And now here's a whole bunch of images, canvas prints, anything I want, ready to buy, the cell phone cases, all the rest in 2 clicks, okay? And why do you think that's going on? Why do you think they would incorporate something like that? And there's a reason they would incorporate something like that, because Fine Art America would way rather not pay their artist a commission because they've got an AI now. And it's case in point why all of these marketplaces are stupid, okay? Because you're on there and you're successful, despite the fact no one is, only for as long as it works out for them. The minute it doesn't, you're done. It's why you have to own your own website. It is why you have to own your own email list, okay? Because these things are going to continue to crop up as time goes along, and the artist needs to own their own destiny. You need to have your own website, and don't take it cynically. It doesn't need to be with us, okay? I don't care. I want you guys all to be successful, whatever path you take. If it's with Art Storefronts, I love you. Fantastic. Welcome to the families. I know there's customers on here. But if not, don't worry, okay? We're not the only game in town. The artist has to own their own website. The artist has to own their own email list. The artist has to own their own social accounts, and they have to be putting work in on all of those. Now, life is going to have seasons. There's going to be some seasons where you can put more effort into those things than others, but you need to be doing it, okay? And it can't be in lieu of I don't need this, right? It can't be, well, I'm on a marketplace right now, or I'm on a gallery and it's working. It cannot be in lieu. It's got to be in addition to, right? It's not binary. It's not one or the other. You have to be building something that you own, right? Like I showed that fine art example. Do you know how many artists are going to get completely smoked on that? Because people are going to go in, they're going to be like, this is way more fun. Okay. Generating images on here. There's a bunch of people that have never been exposed to AI image generation in their life. And you know where they're going to be exposed to it for the very first time? On Fine Art America's site. So now people are going to go and spend hours with that tool rather than looking at anyone else's art. So if you were on that site, there's probably a whole bunch of them that were getting a whole bunch of traffic. And now that's all going to go away because now people can generate their own thing and they would rather do that. Right. So it's just an important thing to understand. AI, okay, for individual artist sales is not going to hurt you at all. All it can do is help you if you embrace it and you learn how to use it a little bit. And I'm not saying to create your work, but I'm saying all the things that it can do. Write product descriptions, help you with social media updates, help you research, help you analyze stuff, correct your grammar, whatever it is, right? Creative sandbox. But the art sales remain 50-50, okay? The art sales remain 50% the artist, okay, who they are, and 50% the work and the story of the work. As long as you're telling those stories, you're forever going to be able to beat AI, okay? You don't need to worry about AI. When you have your own tribe People do not fall in love with computers. People fall in love with other human beings. Okay. So when you tell your stories, you focus on being you. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. So that is my diatribe on AI. Do not worry about it. Do not stress you out. Do not even waste a second, okay, of brain space contemplating, worrying, getting wound up or stressed out about what AI is going to do. None of us can control it anyway. Instead, focus on you, focus on your audience, focus on the size of your email list and telling your story. You do that, the score takes care of itself, and you have nothing to worry about with AI. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.